Hey everyone, Zell here, and today we're going to be looking at a mega farm video for Destiny. This will go over all the materials and quite a few other things just to talk about, like weapon parts, sapphire wire, hydronic essence, or plasteel plating depending on your class. So there's going to be a lot of that. Spinmetal, Helium Filaments, Spirit Bloom, Relic Iron, Ascendant Energy, Shards, Strange Coins, and Motes of Light, along with Experience and Glimmer. So those are going to be what we're going to be looking at, and a lot of things are tied together here. Mainly we're going to be looking at farming routes on the 4 different planets for where you can get a lot of the materials and all that good stuff. So we're starting off on Earth, and we're going to be taking that right into this building here, and we're going to be flying right on through and trying to get over to the rocket yard as fast as possible. Now this is important because the rocket yard has the best chest slash spin metal farm. And that's what we're going for on Earth. So what this also gets you when you're going over here is a lot of chests, and the chests allow you to get glimmer and also a lot of green items to break down into weapon parts or class specific materials. Starting off, you can see that there's spin metal right over here. The spin metal is going to be along this wall. There's going to be a chest in there at times. You're going to walk by. Sometimes there's spin metal right around this area. There's going to be a chest somewhere over here usually, so you can hear it or you just find it. It can also be in the container right below me right now as you see me checking it. We're going to be going over this way. We're going to be cutting across the map here, listening for the spin metal nodes, and also checking for chests in there and in there. And there's going to be spin metal right in front of that blue gas tank type thing. There's going to be spin metal over in that corner. I'm listening for it, not really checking too much. Gonna check these corners, see if we can find a chest like we did there. Chests can also contain like ships and stuff. Over in there, there's sometimes spin metal, and you're just listening for it in this whole range because it could pop up literally anywhere. Now there's another room over here that we can check for a chest. And then also in this other little spot, we can go in here and there might be a chest, but I did not see it, so I passed it on by. And in this room again, checking that to see if we can find anything. And that's pretty much the gist of all these farms. There could be a chest up in that corner, so check out for it. And then there might be stuff there. You never know. We're going to run across this little lake and see if we can hear any spin metal. We didn't, so we're going to this room, checking that out. On our right coming up is going to be another spot. You'll see it right as I'm passing here. There can be a chest in there. In this area, sometimes there's just a rogue spin metal just laying about. That's why I go over in front of this area and listen for it. I don't hear anything, so I pass it on by. We're going to be going over here, right over there could be spin metal, and then we're going to be moving forward and seeing if we can get into this corner to see any chests. We don't, so we're going to move on ahead. When we move on ahead, we're going to be going over here. There might be spin metal right below us, or in this container here. We don't see either one of those, so we're going to head into this room, check it out, see if we can find anything. We don't, so we're going to go over to the last spot on this run, which is that building right there. That building might have spin metal or a chest inside, around, or on top of it. So you'll have to kind of take a look out for it if you hear it but you don't see it. Again, spin metal along that side, chest, so on and so forth. Now, what's nice about this route is that the route itself has an event that spawns, so you can get your daily reward for that, or a chance at Ascendant Energy or Shards. And then also, within chests in general, they can contain Ascendant Energy, Shards, Motes of Light, or Strange Cones at a very small chance. And that's the nice thing about farming chests, is you can get a ton of different things even at a chest, and it kind of makes it like a fun little reward. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. That's sweet. Or you might even get overstuffed chests, which are chests that have multiple decoherent engrams or legendary engram and like 250 glimmer, along with, you know, 10, 20 spin metal. Some crazy things come out of the chest. So they're a really efficient way to farm, along with getting the spin metal nodes itself. And here's that other spot I was talking about right there. So there's a lot of stuff to get here. If you notice, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies. It keeps you busy the entire time, and you just go crazy with it and try to find as much as you can, checking as many of the little areas as you can, and moving as quickly as you can, so you get more chances at getting to these areas before some other guy does and takes your stuff. Because when that starts happening, it's really annoying. Talking about that, if some guy is not working with you, usually if people are farming these routes, usually they'll work with you to farm the routes, and you'll be like running his little pack so everyone gets everything. But there's always going to be that one guy that runs out in front of you. That guy's a douchebag. So don't really worry about him. If he's there, you go to orbit, you come back down, run over to the rocky yard once again, and continue farming your own merry way so you don't have to deal with him anymore. Because that's going to be the hardest thing along with these routes, is someone else is going to start taking your stuff and it's going to make it really inefficient for you. And that's the thing that you have to look out for. So that's pretty much the earth farm right there. As you can see, I'm coming up on that building that I said something could come out either in it or around it or on top of it. And you see me searching around kind of like an idiot trying to find out where this thing is. And it's right on top of the roof. So I'm going to go up there, grab it real quick, and move along my way. And that's the earth farm. Now there's one other thing I do want to mention, and that's there's chests like these, and these chests are complete dick bags. Like look where it's hiding. It's hiding so well behind that little table I couldn't even find it. So onto the moon farm. It's in Archer's Line. That's a spot that you start off on, and we start the route in this cave right here. Now with this cave, there could be things hiding like way in the corner here, and that's one thing to always look out on the moon, because the rooms that you go into, which are caves for the most part, are going to be distributed a little bit differently in where you're looking for things. So after those two caves, you're going to take this area, search around for some helium filaments. If you don't see, you're going to move on by. If you see one that's not exactly in your route but close, grab it before you don't, because someone else might grab it and then you lose it and then you're at a loss, and that's your fault. And as I said, if someone's messing with you, try to work with them with the routes, and if they still won't work with you, then you just leave, orbit out, and come back in, and hopefully he's no longer in your instance. And that's what you're looking for. There's another helium filament right there. And then there's a chest in this corner that you'll see me drive up to and poke my nose in. So I'm going to get out of here, go forward, go into this main room here. You're going to check into this little area. You're going to look around, see what you can see. If you don't see anything, move on along. Make sure to keep an eye out on the roof, because there are chests and stuff that can drop, that just spawn there. They're easy to get to, but they're hard to find. So keep your ears open once again to see if you can get anything that isn't quite visible. Once you get out of here, you're going to be checking on your left for another helium filament. And if you don't see it, you're going to move on ahead, and you're going to be taking another left over towards that cave. But before you do that, you're going to check on your left, see if there's a filament node there, go into the cave, see if you can find anything. If you're smart, you'll tip your sparrow like I did, and when you tip your sparrow, you're going to try to flip it over as many times as you can unsuccessfully. That adds to your luck for this farm run. It's very important to do, guys, so keep that in mind. You're going to take a 5-second jaunt over to this area, check in this building, see if you can find anything. There's either chest or helium coils. You're going to go over to the next room, same thing. You're going to shoot through it, then jump on top of it. And why you're jumping on top of this is because there's a lot of little areas that a chest can spawn. Either there, which you'll hear if it is in that area, or mainly on top of that little canister thing. Now you're going to drive over here and go into that building. And with this building, you're going to check the bottom floor. You're going to run up to the top floor. And then once you're at the top floor, you're going to try to scope that out as quickly as possible and go into this room. In this room, you'll check around, see if you see anything. I've had a lot of success in that room, so don't pass it up. That's important. Once you're done, you're going to run on out, take a left. Once you get on your sparrow, see if anything's in that area. If it's not, you're going to move on forward here. You're going to crisscross the map here, and you're doing that for a specific reason, because if you don't, you're not going to hit all the little spawn areas, because it's going to be less efficient for you. So get it now so you don't miss these spots. You're going to move up to this top area, check for some filaments or a chest. If you don't see it, crisscross across again, because I can talk right now. And you're going to be checking for a helium coil there. Go into this, see if you can find a chest. If you don't, you're going to go straight ahead, and there's that helium coil right there that you can get. After that, you're going to be heading on top of this long thing above you. Now, it's a little bit tough to get onto. That's why I'm cutting it there, because I fell off. So I'm jumping on properly this time. And I already know that there is a chest on that side. So I'm going to run over to that chest and see if I can get it. And also, when you get this done, you're going to be, once you grab the chest, get all those goodies inside, you're going to jump on top and check on the very far end and see if anything's there. You'll see me doing that in a second right here, switching over to my sniper. Don't see anything. I see a little green thing around that 9, so I checked that out to see if some random chest was there. I got confused, guys, sorry. We're gonna move over here, see if we can find anything. If we don't, we're gonna then restart the route right at that cave we were first at. And when we restart that, we're gonna go through and, you know, all that. Keep your eyes open on the moon because it is a rather barren area. And there are a lot of things you can get if you have your eyes open. I know where mostly everything is, but I have a rather specialized route that I feel optimizes what I'm doing on the moon so that I can get through it as quickly as possible. Also to note, on the moon there are events that spawn here, so you do have another chance at public event awards such as Ascendant Shards, Energy, Glimmer, some experience, all that good stuff. There are a few other things that spawn here. Sometimes you get yellow creatures. When you get the yellow creatures, you can kill them for extra glimmer. And that's pretty much sums up the moon route. It's not that bad. Actually, it's one of the more fun routes I find because there are a lot of little areas you can go into and a lot of different terrain differences, and it just switches up on you, and you have like little race areas, and even though it's annoying to ride your sparrow where and it can fall over and do all this crazy stuff, it's kind of fun at the same time to see what it can do. You can get like crazy corkscrews or barrel rolls or whatever it might have you. So it's not that bad of a route, and since you're able to drive everywhere, it's a little bit quicker than other ones. I wish the density was a little bit better. If anyone knows of a better density around the moon for this type of chest slash helium coil run, feel free to let me know in the comments below, because I'm trying to make this as optimized as possible for anyone looking to farm in Destiny, so I have to really look out for that and make sure this is the top of the line guide for you guys. So even if it's not used that much, that's what I'm looking to do here. So let me know in the comments if you know of a better place on the moon, because I honestly don't. This seems like the best one I know of, and looking around a little bit, I couldn't find anything any better. So that is the moon. And also other things to note here is that you can go off and check in corners. Like I said before, there are more spots kind of within the same farm route that I don't hit up because I feel they're not worth it. And why they're not worth it is because, have you ever tried jumping on top of one of those retaining walls? It'll take like 2 minutes to do it because you don't really know where exactly to jump, and it pushes you off and has invisible walls and all this crazy stuff, and it's just not worth it. So that's why I don't deal with it, is because I just have too much trouble getting to those spots. If you're like a master jumper and you're a platform type dude and you can do all that stuff no problem, you can expand this route a little bit more, especially on the wall on the far side of the map. Say if I'm on the close side of the map from the spawn on the far side of the map, there's a wall and there are chests that spawn on top of that wall, and you can go there and see if you can get anything there. Yet otherwise, if you're like me and suck at getting to places properly with like precision jumping and stuff, you're just going to be following this route. It's still really effective, and I think it might even be more effective depending on how quickly you can get those other things. And yeah, so next on the line is going to be 2 Venus routes. The 2 Venus routes, I chose 2 because I think that one is more efficient at farming chests and the Spirit Bloom, and another one is more efficient at getting events done and kills and all the other stuff that you're doing. It's more of like an Ingram farm along with a chest and Spirit Bloom route. So I kind of gave them 2 different sections because I feel one's better at one thing and one is better at the other, but I still wanted to provide you guys with good information on both because I think that both of them are good for something specifically. So Venus is going to be that kind of awkward duckling that has 2 spots because, you know, that I just felt that it needed to. Then also keep your eyes out because you'll notice me do something strange right here. I jump off and I just beeline it over to some random direction because I knew that stuff farmed over there, but I check it while I'm on that rail. That rail gives you a really good position to actually look at the entire map, so you can see things without having to travel to them normally within your route, and you just make a pit stop. And you make that pit stop and you're done and done. And that's the nice thing about the moon. So on to Venus farm route 1. Now on Venus, we're going to take a right for one and left on another. We're taking a right here. We're going through. We're going to be going all the way through towards the first mission on Venus where you first meet the Vex. Right through here. and you're going to bypass the Vex and get into the next area where the strike starts. And you're not going to go into the strike area, but what you're going to do is you're going to start right about here. This is the start of the run. So as you see, I clipped it so that you can see the start. You're going to be checking here, jumping down, looking through the stuff, see if you can find anything. If you can't, that is okay. I heard something. This is normally at the end of the run, but as I said, if you see it or hear it before you get to it, just grab it if it's close enough and not really hurting your time. Right here, there is a broken Spirit Bloom. You can never get that one, so don't try. Don't waste your time on that. Sometimes there's a chest in that corner. You're going to be going into this room right here. See if you can find anything. The chests look like that, and the chests can sometimes spawn on the walls too. They're funny like that. And you're going to go into here. Check right there. You're going to jump on top of here. Sometimes you can find some stuff. A chest somewhere in here. If you jump down and look again, right the same way, you can find a chest in there. Always keep an eye out for the center of the map, because that center is going to give you a lot of Spirit Bloom that normally you can't see. Spirit Bloom is much easier to see here than the other route, and that's why I prefer this route, because I feel like I'm a little bit more efficient at grabbing everything. You're going to be hanging a quick left here, checking for a chest. There's chests all around this area. There's a chest sometimes in this little nook. You're going to be looking for Spirit Bloom on that side and looking towards the center when you can. There's a chest that spawns right down there. And always keep an eye out towards the center for Spirit Bloom when you can. Usually there's a lot of places that face you towards the center that allow you to do it then. Like right here. So you can kind of take a look and see if you see anything. And then you're going to check these two little nooks back there and there. You're going to be over here, see if you see anything. If you don't, you're going to move on through, check your corners here, see if you see anything. Now, I missed one right there. There is that tricky one that spawns right behind that trunk, and you don't really see it until then. You're going to check underneath, and I had to take a clip there because I had to go and eat dinner. So that's what that was about. So you're going to check underneath, above, and you're going to start the run again. Now, here, the nice thing about it is it's a really condensed run, and you can do it really quickly and get a lot of stuff out of it. And this is the Spirit Bloom / chest run that I prefer. And the only thing else that happens here is sometimes you get a war. And a war is when two factions, this time it's the Vex versus the Fallen, are fighting against each other, and they're bringing out champions and the yellow named mobs, and you can get a lot of engrams from that and a lot of glimmer very quickly. And that's kind of a good thing to break up the monotony of this run. Because it's so quick and small, it's easy to kind of get into a trance. But that's the Venus Part 1 run, the first run, and I feel this is quote-unquote the true chest run. Because it's just really easy to get to. The other run, there's a lot more stuff to do, so that's why I included it, is because along with the other runs, it's more like the other runs where you can hit multiple objectives at once. You can't really do that here, which is unfortunate. But, you know, it is what it is. This is still a really, really efficient run at what you're doing. And also, guys, as always, if you know of a better spot somewhere on Venus that I don't go over, feel free to let me know. Because the two different areas that I know of, I think, cover most of them. But you never know when someone finds something way on the outlying stretches and find something that's really efficient that no one really went to because it's just too far out of the way. But, you know, if it's worth the time, it's worth the time, and that's the important thing to look at here. And once again, the chests can spawn in really awkward places. Venus is really strange with like the chests that spawn on the roof and on the walls and upside down, off to the side, and all that crazy stuff. So that's something to look out for. Also here, you can see how tricky some of the chests can be hidden. So keep your ears open at all times. And that's the first Venus run right there. The second Venus run, we're going to be taking a left at the start and going up this little wall here. This wall is not too far. You're just going to zoom on forward, and it's going to start right around here. Now with this start, the caves here are a lot larger, so you really need your scooter to really make it an efficient run. It's a quick run though. It's not that bad. You can go over here, always keep an eye towards the center because you never know when you're going to find Spirit Bloom. And on this map, Spirit Bloom blends in really, really, really well. Like, very well. So you really need to keep an eye out, otherwise you're going to miss it very easily. And I'm sure that I miss some too. But, you know, I'm going for chests mainly when I do my runs because I think that's the most efficient way to farm for the material rather than just looking for the blooms or the Spinmetal or helium coils or, you know, the relic rocks for the relic iron. All that stuff, I don't really think that it's as necessary as grabbing the chest each and every time. So I'm really important about chest spots. There are chests that spawn up on these ridges too, so keep an eye out on the edges of the map for the chests on the ridges. I didn't see any here, so I can't give you an example. But they do spawn up there, so you have to keep an eye out. Once you're done there, you're going to kind of just check around, see if you see anything. Drop down here, go into this cave. That's the hidden cave. A lot of people do not hit this cave, which is kind of funny because it usually gives good stuff. I've gotten the most overstuffed chests from that cave. Now here I didn't take the most optimal route to get to this cave because I lost my scooter beforehand and I boosted instead of just taking a quick right. You'll see me fix that on the next run. We're going to collect that right there and then move on our way. And this pretty much takes care of the route. Now you're going to be looking for Spirit Bloom, and you'll see how easily it blends in. There's some Spirit Bloom right there, but it almost blends in perfectly, so you had to be very careful. And there are other spots for Spirit Bloom in the center of the map, so you just need to keep your eyes out and open because you're not going to be able to hear it. It's not going to be close enough. So that's how this run works. Now, why I chose this run as the second part and why I wanted it to be on par with the first one was because this route offers a ton of stuff. You can see how many more enemies are here in little pockets rather than a giant cluster where they can kind of be intimidating. Not only that, but there is a captain that spawns every 50 seconds or so, so if you need to kill 10 fallen captains, you can do so very easily here, or the yellow name mobs in general, the ultras or captains. So that's very easy to accomplish here. There are also public events that spawn here where you can get another chance at Ascendant shards and energy. And it's one of those routes that just have more stuff. I also feel like there's more missions in this area for you to grab if you need to do, say, a patrol on Venus for 6 missions. So that's my thoughts on this area. It's a very nice, easygoing route. It's not difficult at all. It's just keep an eye out on your vehicle's health and make sure it doesn't die type standard. Also, in here, every 30 minutes a pike spawns, and when a pike spawns you can get on that rather than your normal scooter, so you can start shooting up enemies and getting possible engram drops from them through using the pike. When you go for the pike, make sure not to shoot the pike, because then you're going to damage your own vehicle. You just want to snipe the guy off the back of it and then take it for yourself and go crazy. That's how you use the pike properly, and that's how you get this run to be a little bit more fun and a different pace than the other runs, because you actually get a vehicle that shoots and it's a little bit fun. And every 30 minutes 2 pikes come out, so within an hour, if you have a full group, you can have all 3 people, you know, piked up. Now here is the farm for Mars, and you're going to be taking a left at the start. And this is the most optimal farm if you're looking for chests. So that means if you're looking for green items, be it weapons or armor, you can get them the most efficiently here. As you saw, I got through an event and got an Ascendant energy out of that, but I didn't really want to show the fight, so I just clipped it out and kept on my way. And right here is where I call the starting point of this route. Now with this route, as you can see, it's really rich with nodes. So you just look for nodes and nodes and nodes, be it chest or the actual relic iron. And you move over here, check this corner, see if you can see anything. There's 2 spawn locations there, one for a chest and one for relic iron. Now you're going to go in here and check for a chest, and you're going to listen for it because it could be on the roof too, and I heard it. So I need to find it, and it's right there on the roof somewhere, and I passed it, of course, because I'm great at doing that. But the next part of this is you're going to go over here and check for relic iron, and you can see a little glimmer off in the corner of my screen. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. And you might ask, why do you go over there at that specific point? Is because if you go later, it kind of breaks up your route a little bit too much and makes you like do a loop instead of just backing out of an area that you've already been to. There's no easy way to get back there because you either have to miss this spot or skip it entirely to make the route a little bit more efficient. But I don't like skipping the rooms because I feel that the chests are more important than the actual nodes of material. Here, this building is really, really good. You can get relic iron sometimes over there, but there's a chest here. You're going to go into this room, and there could be another chest in here. Now, if you don't get this chest, you're going to take a right, and then right on my left right now, there could be a chest too where you can grab some relic iron out of along with some other items. There's a chest over here, as you can see right there. and you're going to be moving forward, getting through, and seeing if you can get some more stuff. We're going to take another right and continue along our way. We're going to check that wall for relic iron. We're going to jump up here, see if anything's in that corner. If nothing's in that corner, we're going to take a look underneath this bridge right here. If nothing is there, we're going to go inside of here, avoid the yellow name mobs and the super tanky harpies. See if there's a chest in here, which we did get. Now, when we get out of here, what we're going to do is we're going to take a right, and then right as we enter this room, we're going to take a really quick right, see if anything is right there. We're going to move on forward, go straight through here, get that chest if it's there. These chests have a really high chance of being overstuffed in my own practice and what I found out. Then here we're going to take another right. We're checking that corner, which will be later after we check that wall. As you see, there's relic iron right there. We're going to be moving forward. Make sure not to die from the harpies. I usually don't worry about them, but that almost got me killed and I got a little bit startled. So I kind of messed up here, but you're going to want to get up on this wall, jump up here, see if there's any chests, and I didn't see any, so I just skipped on by. And then we're going to go into this building, go into that room, check on our right in here if we get a chest. If not, we're going to continue forward here, and then we're going to take another right and go a little bit deeper in the building, checking corners for relic iron here. It's really important that you do that. There could be a chest in here. Then you see I checked again just to double check to make sure I wasn't missing relic iron. You go in here, check those two corners for relic iron, and then you move on forward once again. Now here, you jump up here so you can see on top of that building on my left and check over there for relic iron. There's that building right in front of me. On top of that, there is a chest that spawns. That's why you're jumping to check it early rather than later. Get this relic shard, and then you're going to move on forward, and you're going to check in here. Now, there could be stuff behind there, and there's often stuff up here. This wall, though, is difficult, and you slip inside, so I just cut out me slipping and sliding because I forgot about that. Now check in this corner too, because there is a chest that spawns up here, and I jumped up here for no reason. I don't think you can get up there. I don't know why I did that, but behind that bar, that beam that you saw on right in front of the screen right there, there could be stuff behind that too. You're going to go over here, check around the vehicles, because relic shards spawn around the vehicles, and you're going to check in there, and you're going to move on forward into the start of the farm again, which is right here. Now when you check the start of the farm, I'm going to be checking around, see if you see anything. If you don't, you're just going to restart. And this time I do this first. You can do either one of these interchangeably, whichever you find is more efficient for you. And then I'm going to check up here. I don't see anything, so I'm going to go straight forward and see if I can notice any relic iron in the corners there before I enter the room, and see if I can get a chest out of it, which I can't, so I'm going to move on forward and then bounce my vehicle against the walls there because I'm the best driver. Right, guys? And finally, I thought I saw something over there, but I didn't, so I came back around, and again, back into this room where there's always a ton of stuff usually, but right now we'll see what we can get, if anything's here. Sometimes you get gypped, but that's the way of the routes. You have to deal with RNG and all that stuff. As you saw, I heard the chest right there, so I went through. Now, the other thing that's nice about this area is that you do get an event that spawns here, so you have the chance of getting the public awards once again, which include the Ascendant shards and energy and some consultation prizes. There are a lot of yellow mobs here for extra glimmer farming if you want to go about it that way, and you can get Vex kills in this area too. When they ask for Vex majors or ultras, this is where you do it. This is the most efficient place to get that done. You're going to go in here, see if you can find anything. If you can, you can. If you don't, you don't. I'm not even going to worry about that because I realize it's going to disappear that instant. And yeah, so that's the Mars farm, and that covers all 4 farms that I wanted to go over for chests and the material nodes. This also pretty much covers all the weapon parts and class materials that you need. If you're doing this often, you're going to be getting a ton of that and also a ton of glimmer. There are other ways to do it, and they'll be mentioned after I finish this farm. After I finish this whole farm run, I'm going to be talking about experience, glimmer as a whole, and engrams as a whole, and how they can be turned into also, you know, the class materials and all that good stuff. So that covers the mega farm video on the farming runs, at least. I know it was long. We're almost at 30 minutes right now, but it's okay. So I wanted to cover everything at once because I think it'd be a more efficient way for people to look for a guide rather than having to go amongst multiple videos. And that's what my goal was here, and that's why I did this video for you guys. Now, as I was saying beforehand, the Relic iron farm along with the chest farm here is the highest density of chests. So if you're looking for green items or whatever to break down into weapon parts or into class materials, this is the place to do it. This definitely is the place to do it unless you absolutely have no need for relic iron, in which case you're going to be going somewhere else. And usually what I suggest for the next best place is what I'll be talking about in just a second here. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that spawns here. I got a relic iron and a chest from this little area right here. So it's a nice little spot, guys. Don't forget about it. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, and I'm just going to have the strike running in the background while I'm talking about it, is I haven't really mentioned engrams, strange coins, motes of light, or anything like that yet. So, engrams. Engrams are good for leveling up your Cryptarch and also getting legendaries, or if you get a legendary engram, you might even get an exotic item out of it. Now, how do you farm these? What you're going to be doing is doing level 24 strikes, the Tiger Vanguard strikes, or Vanguard Tiger, or whatever order it's in. And why you're doing those is because once you finish it, you get the best amount of decoherent / legendary engrams as a reward. Legendary engrams are still rare, yet they're not impossible to get. And along with that, you can speedrun most of these level 24 strikes as one person. It's not difficult. You can really haul ass and just get them done, especially if you're in a group of 3. Most strikes can be done under 7-8 minutes, except for a few of them. As long as you know what you need to kill, you can really get through the goals and all the little things you need to do very, very quickly, which is nice. So that's the idea there behind the engrams. And as you're getting engrams, you're also leveling up your Cryptarch to get more engrams. And as you're doing strikes, you're leveling up your Vanguard or whatever cloak you have on to level up, you know, New Monarchy or, you know, whatever you want to level up. And once you level that up enough and you level it, you'll actually get legendary items at a possibility from them as well. So, you know, you can farm a lot of legendaries that way. And with that, if you're farming legendaries, be it weapons or armor, you're getting ascended shards and ascended energy from it, which is a great way to do it if you don't want to break down other stuff that you have and you want to save other things. You get the legendaries, and if they're not good, you just trash them and get the shards or energy out of them. So also with energy and shards, the best way to get that is through doing your dailies every day. And if you have 3 characters, you're having the possibility of getting 6 shards or energy just from your dailies. And you don't know exactly what it's going to be. You could get 3 shards, you could get 2 shards, 1 energy, you could get 3 energies and 3 shards depending on how lucky you are. And if you complete your daily public event on each of your 3 characters, that's going to give you another shard or energy. And then once you complete that event, just as the event itself, it has a chance of giving you a shard or energy as well. So that's how you go about the shard and energy farms. And then when it comes to strange coins are mainly obtained from doing your weekly at level 28. If you complete your weekly at level 28 on 3 characters, you're getting 9 strange coins per character, which means you have 27 strange coins all together per week. And that's not including if you're doing PvP and you're getting rewards from that, or if you just get them luckily through a chest or at the end of a Vanguard strike, because Vanguard strikes do drop them at level 24 at a chance. So you can get a ton of strange coins that way, and that's going to cover you at least for an item or 2 from Zur every week, so you always will have currency for Zur when it comes around. The next thing I want to talk about are Motes of Light. Motes of Light are the way they reward you for gaining experience after level 20. Once you hit level 20, you max out your character. However, once you level up again, you will get a Mote of Light when you do level instead of gaining a level. So that's one way to get Motes of Light. The other ways are to get lucky out of chests, or to get lucky from the end of a strike, or, you know, from doing random things. Sometimes they drop from chests, or sometimes it feels like I randomly get them, but Motes of Light are generally gained from gaining experience, which is what we're doing in the Tiger Vanguard strike. And going into experience, what's the best way to get experience? I've been over this before, but I'm going to go over it again. The best way to get experience is doing your bounties. Once you're done with your bounties and done with the easy bounties, or you don't want to deal with other bounties that are there, the next best way to get experience is by doing your weeklies, your nightfall, your weekly heroic, your daily. Also, that gets you a good amount of experience. Once you're done with those, then you're going right back to the Vanguard Tiger Strikes level 24 strikes, because those are the best way to get it after that point. Now once you're done there, you're pretty much done with your day. Because if you're going for an experience farm for, like, say if you're leveling up a weapon, you're going to do that on all 3 characters with that weapon specifically. And if you're just leveling up for Motes of Light, usually you do that on 1 character, because the other characters need to level up a little bit in one way or another. They're using that experience either on their subclasses or something else. So that's something to keep into consideration. Also, if you're doing these strikes and you're using the proper material resource, you know how you get those like resupply codes or black wax idols. If you match those up to what you're killing as you're doing these strikes, you're going to be gaining even more glimmer from the strikes to get extra glimmer. So there's a ton of ways to farm things that are not necessarily a true farm. They might be repetitive, but they're not necessarily terrible. So that's something to look out for here as well. And I think that covers mostly everything. So guys, if you have a question about anything I was talking about, or if you had a question about how to farm something specifically and you would like to see a video on that or something else, let me know. I'll get back to you, and you might give me ideas for my next video on Destiny. I haven't uploaded many videos recently because I've been doing these mega videos. I did an entire build on the pre-sequel for Athena, which took me a little bit of time, and now I just got this gigantic farming guide for you guys here. So I am working on stuff, but I'm doing bigger projects, which means my videos aren't going to be coming out as quickly. However, the daily video upload for Destiny and pre-sequel, for a little bit longer on pre-sequel, will be continuing, and you'll see me on Destiny every day doing something. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. Thanks for watching. If this guide and video helped you in any way, please comment, throw a like on the video, subscribe if you want more of it. I not only do this, but I do fun little things and talk about exotics and other things like that. So that's kind of what my channel's about currently. So if you want to support what I do, feel free to subscribe so you can see my videos quicker and know when I'm going to bring out some information about some game that's usually within the looter shooter type genre. And with that, guys, I'll catch you later. See ya.